One option is tanggalin lahat ng unprogrammed, and pag nagkapera ang gobyerno, will pass a supplemental budget. So kung sure din naman na marirelease 200 billion every year, wag na natin tawagin unprogrammed. Tal, ano naman ang DBM naman May I know what's the amount na dapat ibigay sa PhilHealth and how much we are giving to PhilHealth? One thing is clear, malabo talaga. Yun ang clear. Simple lang ang tanong PhilHealth, magkano kailangan mo? Ito ang kaibahan ng Thailand, US at Pilipinas. Sa Thailand, magbabayad ka ng 100 baht, ooperahan ka na. Gagamutin ka na. Tapos ang billing is between the government and the hospital. Ganun din sa US, kahit turista ka. Tatanungin ka, meron ka bang travel insurance? Pero kahit hindi ka sumagot, gagamutin ka. Then hahanapin ka, ibibill ka. Sa Pilipinas, only if it's life-threatening can the hospital not admit you. But if it is not life-threatening in their analysis, hindi matutuloy yung yung procedure mo. So let's talk about options here, Mr. President, with your permission. So one option is tanggalin lahat ng unprogrammed, and pag nagkapera ang gobyerno, will pass a supplemental budget. That's inconvenient for the executive, but that's convenient. But it's more transparent for everyone. Okay. The other one is that the Department of Finance or the DBCC simply say that magkano ba talaga dyan ang plano nila i-raise? Kasi am I wrong, Mr. President, that they can borrow money for this?
Yes, Mr. President, loan, the foreign assisted project.
So that's where the misunderstanding comes. Yung sagip at yung lump sum, klaro yung intention doon. If you think of regularity, the intention of lump sums kasi is flexibility during the year. So pag hindi ko nilagyan ng mali siya, it's for flexibility. Nilagyan mo ng mali siya, yun nga, kasi nga parang pork barrel para pag may gusto kang i-release. Okay. Having said that, if the DBCC says we will fund it, hindi na siya unprogrammed. So ang point ko, Mr. President, is that let me ask another question. During the time of President Fidel V. Ramos, nung nagkaroon ng konting crunch because of the Asian crisis, di ba? Di ba siya, mandatory 10% ata savings sa lahat ng agencies.
I think we called it austerity measures.
Yes. So meaning, for example, if 10% ng 6.7 billion is trillion is 600 billion, which is much bigger than the unprogrammed. So meaning the DBM or the Office of the President can always say, oy, lahat ng agencies, don't spend 3 to 5% of your budget, lalabas kong lahat. So isn't it just better practice that when I say tanggalin ang unprogrammed, dalawang tanggalin, meaning minus 170 billion, 270 ngayon sa budget, or let's simply not call it unprogrammed fund. Kasi ang DBM naman magde-decide kung anong una nilang popondohan. So parang hindi ko mag-get yung point ngayon without yung kasing lump sum, nakukuha ko yung point So let's say lump sum infrastructure. Popondohan muna nila lahat ng na-approve sa program. Kasi tingin nila, mas importante yon. Ngayon, pag sumobra pera, saka namin popondohan to. Pero katulad ng AFP modernization, are we saying it's second priority? I don't think any one of us is saying that, no?
No. Actually, in the committee report, Mr. President, or in this proposed version, itong second reading version natin, AFP modernization, tinaasan ho natin by about 20 billion. But ang ask ng agency is about 90 billion because mayowa yung kanilang mga expenses. So, since limited po yung fiscal space, linagay na lang natin sa unprogrammed yung 30 billion. But dahil wala nang sagip, so mapopondohan na ngayon itong modernization.
Let me phrase it another way. Since 2022, how much of the unprogrammed fund have been funded. Senator Joel, you said kanina no na ang pinakamaliit magkano? 100 plus billion? 3 years lang naman 23, 24, 25.
On the average po, ang mga release nito about 200 million a year. Pero like for example, mga ganun po.
And this year, Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, magkano ang propose natin na unprogrammed sa Senate version?
For 2026,
Yes.
it's about 174.
So kung sure din naman na marirelease 200 billion every year, wag na natin tawagin unprogrammed. Total, ano naman ang DBM naman magde-decide kung, so halimbawa, sabihin natin whether it's 90 billion or 120 billion yung AFP, hindi ba yung it's between the AFP na at saka DBM kung anong unang popondohan?
May mga years rin po na mababa rin. Like for example po in 2020, 23 billion, 2021 54 billion, 2022 67 billion. So may mga years rin na mababa siya.
I'll not belabor the point because I want to vote yes for this budget. But that's one of the constraints in voting for yes na yung unprogrammed kasi parang DAP din Basta't nag-introduce tayo ng bagong term, hazy yung rules even with a special provision. Remember, this is an appropriation bill so the President can veto line by line, no? And just like yung DAP, by the time the Supreme Court rules on it, it's for future guidance na lang di ba? So, if someone brings a case about the unprogrammed, of course, the government will defend it. Pero if we're going towards transparency, so babalik ako, di ba, na kung nag-agree tayo na dapat mag-decentralize, nag-agree tayo hindi panay Metro Manila, nag-agree tayo panay dapat train over highways and cars, the budget should reflect that But it's not reflecting that, no? So I leave the unprogrammed. Do you want to state for the record
Well, Mr. President, that's why I share the same feeling, Mr.
Yeah.
President, with the minority leader and with the deputy minority leader, Senator Joel. Kaya ho, during the Blue Ribbon hearing, lumabas nga ho doon na itong sagip, especially the sagip line item, nagagamit ho to sa mga flood control at other infrastructure project. At iba-iba pang mga projects, tinanggal na ho natin at linagay na sa program. Ang iniwan na lang yung foreign assisted project dahil yung mga foreign assisted projects ho, paglabas na ng 2026, dito lang ho magkakaroon ng pondo. So that's why traditionally, even in the past, linalagay po yung foreign assisted project po talaga sa program because lumalabas siya during the year.
But the problem, Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, is I'm not an accountant by profession. I'm not a numbers person, no? But I have been in this chamber and in the House of Representatives long enough to know that there are systems. For example, augmentation, di ba? Pag infrastructure program, you're allowed to augment 25 ba? Or 25 and 25 ulit? Ano ba yung present rule ngayon? So, we don't have to say the exact amount, but I'll give you an example. No? So, kung may unprogrammed tayo 170 billion, magkasobrang pera, and then meron, let's say, flood control na 1 billion, without anyone knowing it, of course, it's in the reports, pero napakaraming report ngayon, ang hirap bantayan lahat. Pwede ka maglagay ng 250 million na may alam lang yung agency at saka DBM. Diba? So that's what I meant, that part of transparency is simplifying our process. Naintindihan ko naman yung intent ng augmentation Kasi kung halimbawa whatever reason, 'di ba, nagkabagyo doon, nasira yung port. So ngayon may double handling or whatever, yung materials tumaas. So 5% na lang tapos na yung project, hihintay mo pa ba yung next budget cycle bago mo tapusin? So hindi masama per se yung augmentation. But I'm saying if you have a combination of loans that we will find out. Remember my point about the loans, no? When we borrow money, Congress doesn't know until the year after or until we start paying for it. So we're talking about a 6.7 trillion budget, di ba? Now. But in reality, I don't know how much we're borrowing next year. In reality, it could be 20 billion, it could be 300 billion, it could be 500 billion. So in reality, the interplay of all of these funds juggling from one to ang hirap bantayan.
Tama ho kayo.
And let me just put this on the record because I feel strongly about this. Nung araw kasi may referee. Halimbawa, investigative journalism o kaya yung sa media, iimbitahin yung expert. Ngayon, it's more of doubling down on what you assert, whether tama't hindi. And maraming influencers are disguised as political analyst or nasa media. Hindi ko nilalahat ha. Siyempre yung ating main traditional radio, whether it's Bombo, RMN, DZRH, di ba? Our main stations, GMA7, etc. I'm not talking about per se our traditional media. I'm talking about yung atmosphere natin ngayon, di ba? So, ang daling baliin ang truth at ang daling tanggalin yung transparency kung complicated yung systems natin. Di ba? So, if there's only one way na lalabas yung pondo, program, that's, pero may program, tapos merong augmentation, tapos meron din basta sa executive department, di ba? The Constitution allows the president to move around some funds.
Around savings.
Yes, arouse and savings, moving target din yung definition. Kasi the DBM can actually say, hindi na maganda tong project na to, walag ng tuloy, magiging savings na iyon, di ba? Of course, binabantayan ko rin yung announcement ni Secretary Vince na mataas ang lupa. So, bababa dapat ang presyo ng lahat ng infra. So, if we keep it that way, he'll have a lot of savings. Kung masyado naman mababa, problema din kasi walang magagawang project ang ating bansa. So, I think I'm emphasizing kung gaano ka-precarious ang situation natin. We want transparency, we want to take out graft and corruption, but we also want to perform. Kasi kung tanggalin mo lahat ng graft and corruption, wala namang magawang project, that's a form of graft for me. Natanggal mo yung corruption pero may graft. So the perfect mix is tama ang presyo, transparent, pero nagawa yung project, di ba? And parati ko yung example diyan, yung favorite ni Senator Bam, classrooms, di ba? Kasi kung tama yung presyo pero walang nagawa, ang estudyante siksikan for the next 1-2 years, di ba? Pagka namang super overpriced, yung sanang ginawa mong 2 building, 1 building lang nagawa. So, we want to find the perfect mix na walang corruption pero nagawa. Di ba? Pero pag sinobrahan mo yung bawas sa pondo, walang magagawa kasi walang contractor na nakukuha. Di ba? Pag kinorap mo naman, it's not only a corruption problem, it's a nasisira yung social contract between the government and people want to rebel, di ba? And then sa ibang bansa we're depicted as we can explain all we want that ine-expose nga, inaayos nga yung corruption, di ba? Pero yung news sa abroad, hindi natin kontrolado yon, di ba? And of course, there's competition. Dito lang sa Southeast Asia, we're all competing for foreign investments from Japan, from China, from Europe, from the US, di ba? So, in boardrooms all over, nagbubuno, huwag kayo pupunta sa Pilipinas kasi dito ka pumunta sa bansa namin. That's normal. Di ba? Because we're made in the image of the US, we have always whispered, if you want a democratic setup, same sa US, transparent, come to the Philippines. No? Which brings my point to Singapore. No? When Singapore was in very much a precarious situation, problema kasi multi-ethnic, multi-religious, problema nila sa Malaysia, walang walang natural resources, they turn to tourism. But I can't figure out why it's so clear to us that for every 2 tourists to 3 tourists, 1 Filipino job. And we all agree, whether you go to Baguio sa traditional kabayuhan, whether you Wright Park, whether you go to yung mga inayos na ngayon sa Baguio, whether you go to Siargao, of course the favorites, Boracay, Palawan, but anywhere you go, no? My sister in younger days loved mountain climbing, and the more walang walang kuryente, walang di ba, the more that it's pure nature, more rustic, mas maganda, and may ganun market din sa backpackers, di ba? But of course, yung Southeast Asia ngayon, more Chinese market na high-end shopping din, no? But if you compare, kasi ang layo talaga eh. Yung Thailand, 40 million na yung tourist, may get tayo 7. But ang budget ng ating Department of Tourism is only 4.1 billion. So, I'm not proposing any amendments now. Maybe something for us to think about pagdating sa BICAM, but parang it doesn't make sense to me na whether it's traditional tourism, agri-tourism, sports tourism, eco-tourism. Senator Legarda has always espoused, di ba, yung ecological balance, pero pwede naman ang eco-tourism. Pero kung ganito budget ng DOT, I'm hoping to pa rin ni Secretary Vince Dizon yung sinabi niyang ang uunahin niya sa budget ng DPWH yung magko-connect sa airports, land ports, seaports, and tourism areas. But we know hindi ganun ang dynamic sa ating bansa. It's very hard to tell everyone, sandali this 1 year, eto muna. Kasi everyone has their pet projects. And hindi ko minamaliit yung may sports complex. Kasi sabi mo sa bata, wag mag-drugs, wala naman sports complex, di ba? Or sa mga magsasaka na halos hindi mag-exist, di ba? Whether it's solar dryers or whatever, mahirap ganun. But without prioritizing and with a budget of only 4.1 billion, I really don't see, and then with our present stance, which is going towards the US, mas malayo sa ating kasi ang Europe. So Thailand sila. Ang Indian, napakarami din pera, pero they're further than us. So with the present atmosphere with the Chinese, ang pag-asa natin na lumaki yung ating tourism is the Japanese, Korean, Southeast Asia. Yes, and then hopefully you have 6 million PhilAms. You have 10 million OFWs abroad. Umuwi lang ng once a year yon, magsama lang ng isang boss nila, that's another 10 million tourists. Pero paano magagawa yon kung ang budget ng tourism ay budget ng isang congressional district?
Actually, I share the same sentiment, Mr. President, na low-hanging fruit ho talaga ang tourism. At kahit na may challenges ho tayo sa Chinese market, tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung pagpunta ng Japanese market, ng Korean market. One untapped market nakikita ko is Australia dahil medyo malapit-lapit sa atin, no? Malapit-lapit at high income. So yun po yung mga markets na pwede nating matap outside of China, Mr. President.
May I know whether we are restoring all of the funds for PhilHealth and magkano yon? Because I know for a fact that Senator Pia between 2005, 2006 yung earmarking.
Yes.
And since then, binantayan yon. So, I'm aware of the 60 billion that everyone says is solid. But I think if you do all the computations ng mga earmarking, much more than that ang dapat ibigay ng gobyerno sa PhilHealth. May I know what's the amount na dapat ibigay sa PhilHealth and how much we are giving to PhilHealth?
I'm not mistaken, natatandaan ko sa presentation ni Senator P.S. about 200 billion. 296 billion, if I... Correct. Correct. So ito yung mga arrear... Kasi ang nangyayari, may earmarking pero hindi naman nabibigay yung buong amount. So I think from the presentation, I remember from 2023, nag-compound na siya to 296 billion. So for this year, naglagay ang sa National Expenditure Program ng 60 billion at ang 53 at inaugmented ho yan ng 60 billion.
So, sa 290, how much are we actually giving in 2026? The 290 includes the 60 or...
Yes, kailangan na po. But yan din po ang concern ni Senator Rizon Tiveros, of course, Senator Pia, and Senator Lauren during the plenary debates. At sabi ko, dapat mapag-usapan natin to in the next few years kung paano magkaroon tayo ng some form of yearly allocation para mapuno natin yung gaps and also yung mga hindi na-remit in the past.
So, 3 points I want to make.
Can I just give the right figures no, to be clear? Thank you, Mr. President. Just to be clear, no, yung 60 billion na binalik ng House and which our chairman is retaining, yun yung tinanggal noong 2024. Okay? So binabalik yan ngayon. Pero yung kailangan bayaran in 2026 is 69.78 at ang nasa NEP lang is 53. So kulang ng 16 billion. Yun yung hinihingi ko kay chairman na sana at least for 2026, pakita natin na na-earmark na to, ibigay itong buong 69. Tapos we go backwards pa na earmark na ibang amount. But I'll just focus on that 69 total, which is short of 16 billion for 2026. Thank you.
Okay. So that's the first point I want to make. Na if I'm going to be very liberal and not ideal, I will yield to Senator Legarda.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate the clarification of Senator Pia Cayetano. The 60B in the HGAB for 2026 is, in my understanding, yung bayad utang. I
Yes.
used that in the interpellation, which the DOF refused to say utang. So whatever it is called, the 60B taken away from PhilHealth in 2024 was placed in the HGAB, which we are studying now. But it is actually not 60B. The DOF in 2024 got, what is the exact amount? More than 60B because the Supreme Court did a TRO on the remaining funds. It's 89. Yun, galing yung prompter. Yes, 89 na TRO yung balanse, kaya hindi na nakuha. Pero yung 60B nakuha. That is why I asked the DOH or PhilHealth to give us a liquidation of where they put this. Did they actually put it in health-related expenses or in flood control or in infrastructure? Infrastructure for hospitals, yes, or health facilities. It was still unclear in the interpolations. So in the coming year, they owe it to us and to the Filipino people that they explain where they put the 60B. And I hope, and thank you to the chair, that he retained the 60B. That's only 2024. Senator Pia Cayetano is correct in saying that we, meaning Senate and the House, owe the Filipino people and PhilHealth the amount allocated in the NEP of 2025. It was in the HGAB. It was in TAGAA. Taken out the BICAM. I'm sorry, I have to say this, right? Senator Pia. So, it is not in this year's GAA. And mind you, it is a mandated earmark allocation from the sin tax law. Yes. So, yun po ang hindi pa natin binibigay. yung sinabi po ni Senator Pia Cayetano na nasa NEP ng 2026 for next year, kulang. That means those who are doing the NEP, at least for this provision, are violating the law because they are not allocating the correct amount. Short, linagay nila 53, ang dapat 69. Short na mga 16 billion. So why don't they compute it correctly? Susunod na lang ng batas, tinimbang ngunit kulang. So bakit po ganon? So ang utang po ng Kongreso, meaning Senado at Kongreso sa taong bayan sa pamamagitan ng PhilHealth ay yung balanse ng 2026 na kulang ng 16B at yung nawala sa GAA na 60B, tapos yung PAGCOR at PSO na ayaw pa rin nilang ibigay.
Therefore, the question that is begging to be asked is why did the 19th Congress allow that? Pinayagan yung alisin sa BICAM eh.
That is correct. Are you interpolating me, Mr. Senate President?
No,
I did not. Yes.
I'm asking
It's a good question.
the House
Yes.
because that is the question that's going to be
Let me put it on record
asked by
para
the people
sigurado.
watching us on Facebook right now.
Salamat.
Bakit daw pinayagan ng 19th Congress?
Hindi po ako
Ginalaw sa
pumayag,
BICAM.
hindi po ako po hindi po ako pumirma ng budget BICAM. At
No.
hindi po ako parte ng BICAM
Same tayo ni Senator Pia. We didn't sign the BICAM.
because we were not in favor.
One thing is
of
clear.
that.
You started Senator Legarda by saying what is clear. One thing is clear. Malabo talaga. Yun ang clear. Pag tinatanong natin ang DOH para luminaw, lalong lumalabo. Di ba?
Okay.
Not only in PhilHealth. They have 34 billion for HPEP. They said mas priority nila yung grassroots, yung primary healthcare. Nung tinanong ko, magkano budget sa 34 for primary? 4 billion. Magkano sa secondary, tertiary? 30 billion. So malabo, di ba? Kasi sabi mo, priority yung
Pero hindi
primary.
naman nilalagay ang
Oo,
pondo.
same thing sa PhilHealth. The first point I want to make is simple. If I wasn't going to be a stickler for rules, if I was going to be totally liberal, not ideological here, simple lang ang tanong eh. PhilHealth, magkano kailangan mo? At ang sabi ni Dr. Tony Dance at may grupo silang ever since nagbabantay nito, I think they work closely with Senator Pia. You need 147B this 2026, no? So actually that's the shortcut nung tanong ko kay Senator Win kay Chairman. How much of the 147 billion na kailangan ng PhilHealth? Remember, PhilHealth promised that by February tapos na yung kanilang bagong survey. So hopefully yung no or zero billing matupad. Let me just point out, Mr. Chairman, because not everyone was here noon, no? PhilHealth and the Secretary Herbosa was pointing out Thailand and US. Ito ang kaibahan ng Thailand, US at Pilipinas. Sa Thailand, magbabayad ka ng 100 baht, ooperahan ka na. Gagamutin ka na. Tapos ang billing is between the government and the hospital. Ganun din sa US, kahit turista ka. Tatanungin ka, meron ka bang travel insurance? Pero kahit hindi ka sumagot, gagamutin ka. Then hahanapin ka, ibibill ka. Sa Pilipinas, only if it's life-threatening can the hospital not admit you. But if it is not life-threatening in their analysis, hindi matutuloy yung yung procedure mo. So that's why it's important that ma-finalize ng PhilHealth yung packages at saka yung kung ano man ang sistemang gagamitin nila kung magkano. But if it is true that 147B ang kailangan, and I have no reason to doubt, how much are we actually giving PhilHealth for 2026?
So ang allocation po for 2026 is about 113 billion, Mr. President. And just to join the conversation, talaga hong based doon sa syntax law, may mga shortfalls yung pagre-remit po sa PhilHealth. And I talked to Senator Pia, Senator Risa, and Senator Lauren na next year, 2027, let's come up with a payment scheme or payment plan na every year babayaran na itong shortfall.
I appreciate that, Mr. Chair. That was my second point, di ba? Kaya lumobo din yung sa military. kasi nga hindi nagkaroon ng cut-off eh. So halimbawa sa 5th year may utang ka. Starting sa 6th year hindi ka na uutang. I mean, bayaran mo na ng tama. I think the starting point for hopefully next year, pero kung sabihin natin 2027 is ano ba yung allocation nyo? Hindi pwedeng hindi ibigay in accordance with law or amend the law. Diba? Okay. So, having said that, Mr. Chair, may I manifest na kung 17 billion lang naman yung diferensya na, no, hindi ko nilalang ang 17 billion pero alam kong kayang hanapin yon. Kung between 130 and 147 ang kailangan, why don't we symbolically all agree to find that 17 billion, no? Again, not for, there are certain things that I would try to insist that be here today. Especially that smaller, kasi katulad nung sinabi kong sa Mindanao Railway, malaki naman ang tinanggal natin sa DOTR eh. So, by merely restoring some of that, tingin ko pwede. But katulad nito, I would still think if you can meet nga with the several advocacy groups
Yes, Mr. President.
and we can find a way, I think it will be a small victory for all of us, no? All of you who fought for this, kung maibigay yung 17B. Tapos to semi-answer the Senate President, actually hindi legislature eh. Ang nangyari, may nagamit yung administration sa special provision. Paano ilipat yung pondo?
Yung number 4.
Oo. And technically, the theory was good. The theory was, if you have excess funds anywhere and you use it productively, di ba? So kung may kumpanya ka, di ba, Win and Allen Corporation, no? And may 3 bulsa, shampoo, health products at saka kotse. At medyo awas siya cash yung kotse. Actually, kung gagamitin mo yung pera to build that company, babalik din siya. Yun yung intention. Ang problema nga, nangyari yung flood control at nabuko yung PhilHealth na hindi naman pala kayo zero billing o no billing, di ba? But theoretically, if awash in cash yung PhilHealth at walang Pilipino na hindi nakakakuha ng tamang health services, di ba? Then it would be a finance issue, no, between PhilHealth, between a GOCC. It's very emotional because it's health. But for example, kung BCDA yan, may sobrang 60 billion ang BCDA, I don't think any one of us will think twice na gamitin muna namin yan to build something, no? So pagdating nga sa health, Mr. President, Senator Win, no? Hanggang ngayon, nasa Metro Manila pa rin yung Heart Center, Lung Center, Kidney Center, National Children's Hospital, Fabella. I'm happy that they're building in Clark. But it's amazing na nauna pa yung private sector sa atin samantalang ang laki-laki na ng budget. So for 2026, are we building in Mindanao, Visayas, or Southern Luzon? Central Luzon meron na, or Northern Luzon, any of these kinds of hospitals?
Ang strategy po ng DOH is to really bring those specialty services or specialty health services to the countryside. In fact, yung campaign promise ni Majority Leader natin, I remember, 2022, at nangyari na yun. But instead of building a hospital, at least for now, nagtatayo sila what they call specialty centers in different hospitals, Mr. President.
Just to clarify, 147 billion aside from the 60 that has to be returned, no? So I'm sorry for that. So it's not only 17 billion, it's 77 billion. But going to the hospital issue, but that's my point, Senator Win, Mr. Chairman, no, and Mr. President. For example, no, we saw how PGH was a great hospital pero dilapidated na yung mga doktor pa ang I remember when I first met Senator Soto, tinanong ko nga, ano po nyo yung sa Soto sa Cebu, di ba? And we are blessed to see kung paano napaganda yung sa Cebu na Vicente Soto Hospital, no? So my point is, we did the calculations with the same architect who did the Clark. You only need 5 billion for specialty hospital. And the 2.5 there is for equipment. So you don't have to buy the equipment until the next year. So meaning if we want isang specialty hospital sa Northern Mindanao, isa sa Southern Mindanao, that's only 5B. If you want isa sa Western Visayas, isa sa Eastern Visayas, that's another 5B. If you meron na sa sa Central Luzon, so Southern Luzon, Northern Luzon, so that's 20B for 2026, then 2027 20B para sa equipment, then you will have it. So my point is, we've been discussing amendments insertion, no? If I was governor of whatever province and I had land and I have the doctors, kung sa BICAM ilabi ko yan, boss, lagyan mo ng 2.8 billion dito sa amin, pagawan yung magandang ospital, in 5 years, ipangalan natin yan na Mindanao Health Center. Hindi masama eh. Kasi yun nga ang problema. And that's the point I want to emphasize is now. That's why nga elected yung senators, that's why elected ang members of Congress. We see things that not necessarily technocrats or bureaucrats see. So yes, there are a lot of good people in DOH. But there are also people who see things differently. Diba? Nag-argue pa sila sa akin na you need a law before you build. Eh, yung binibuild nila ngayon sa Clark, we can pass a law later on to make that Central Luzon Heart Center, Central Luzon Lung Center. But if we don't start building, when will we build all of this? Diba? If meron tayong mga scholarships sa doktor, but if we don't show them that we will have these specialized hospitals, they will move to Singapore, to Malaysia. Hindi na nga ang nakakahiya o nakakasama ng loob, hindi na sa Europe, sa US at Japan lumilipat yung ating ibang health professionals eh. Nandun na sa mga kapitbahay natin na Southeast Asians na dati pumupunta pa sa Pilipinas para magpagamot eh. Diba? So, but in the meantime, yung iba pong mga very successful doctors from abroad are coming home and investing their own money. So, Mr. Chairman, at the right time, no? I mean, if we can't do it today and now, but then push kahit na symbolically, isa o dalawa. I mean, what's 5 billion for 2 hospitals of that? If you ask me, the 34 billion HPEP should be for the almost 15,000 barangays na walang health center. Then may special fund tayo for the hospitals. Bantayan natin yung paggagawa nito. Pero mahirap sirain o korapin yan eh. Kasi there's only a few architects and few contractors in the Philippines na kaya yung ganong kagandang ospital. Kaya mababantayan ang gusto yan. Hindi yan katulad ng flood control or ng dredging na hindi mo mababantayan in the whole country, Mr. President.
At kung kayo naman ang tatanungin mga kababayan, ano kaya ang inyong reaksyon at komento sa balitang ito? Please comment down below at huwag na rin kalimutang i-like at share ang ating video.
Thank you for watching.